Previously on Alien Earth 616, the Dark Ages.
Given Harley's condition, we need to get her to military compound in Walworth to the southeast. They granted short-term regenerative capability, just shy of 2 feet at its full length. It's leathery and ridged. It pulses like a heartbeat almost as you lift it out, and it has this sort of thin, translucent skin. At the top, you see it has these 4 petals, and as you lift it out, you see these petals starting to split open.
I'll put it in the box really quickly and close the lid.
You see the head of a muscular Badoon, and then this pure white, bulky power armor.
Why mess with a good thing and snap shoot?
There's a platoon of Badoon racing up the road behind you. As you're frantically looking around, trying to make a decision on where to go, perhaps somewhere to hide, perhaps somewhere you could stand and fight, the street suddenly erupts in gunfire as you see soldiers on the roof to either side of you pop up, and the Badoon behind you start to fall under a hail of gunfire. You see British military, perhaps only half a dozen, but they've taken up advantageous positions on the rooftop, just lay down covering fire. You see one of them kind of catches your eye and it kind of points and says, "Move, move, move!"
We would like to move. I think.
We continue moving. Yeah.
We move.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me twice. I am pushing that gurney with all my might.
You race up the street. The gunfire now falls in behind you. You come to a point where you reach the end of Walworth Road and you see turning off a building. Looks to have been fairly recently leveled. Possibly in the conflict, you're not sure, but you see erected in its position is a very makeshift military compound. You see these kind of prefab units and makeshift barricades and walls have been erected around it. Spotlights have been added pointing in to illuminate the interior of this compound. You see a couple of British soldiers stood at the gate as you round the corner. Initially, they snap to, rifles raised at you. Clearly, though, they've been given advance notice of your approach as they kind of see you coming down the road towards them, and they relax somewhat, still keeping the rifles held up, obviously aware of the gunfire that you can still hear behind you. One of them steps forward, says, "MI-13?
That's us. I mean, we'll pull out badge ID, flash it.
I've never heard of you guys before, but any allies are welcome." He kind of shouts over, "Open the gate!" And you see this gate swing open behind him, leading you into this small makeshift compound. You see barricades have been set up inside. They've made checkpoints as you head in. Immediately as you go through the main gates, you can see there's a little office to the side that's been set up, but it's empty. There's no one inside. You notice running up the path to here, and even as you get inside, there's signs of like bloodshed outside. There's clearly been casualties here. Not recently, but certainly probably in the last week or so. Heading in, you see the internal barrier is raised as well. Again, only a couple more soldiers in the main forecourt. You do see to your immediate left as you come through the gate, there is a military truck parked up that has seen heavy damage as well. Like you see scorch marks down the side of it. The thing looks like it's a wonder that it's still functional. A couple of the soldiers move forward and kind of flag you in as you all make your way in with the gurney. One of them steps forward to give you a hand with Harley as you move inside. And you see the gate quickly closing behind you as you move it into the courtyard. There's another small prefabbed building. I say small, it's like probably about 25 feet long. Large doors at the front of it. Looks like it's a makeshift garage. And as you move through the main courtyard, again, you see another soldier barrier. The initial rush of moving you in settles down a little bit as the few soldiers in this courtyard step forward to greet you and give you a hand with the gurney. The one at the far back, however, slides past the barrier. You see him disappear further into the compound. Says to one of the others, "I'll go and get the lieutenant." And one of the others nods at him and steps forward to greet you. Young man, blonde hair, looks like he's probably very early 20s. Steps forward, says, "You're MI13. We were alerted you were on your way. I didn't even know there was an MI13.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Well, you seem to have some sort of authorization, so..." And he kind of catches himself, like snaps a salute.
Don't salute me, I'm public relations.
Very good. So, Michaels has just gone to get Lieutenant Roberts. If you'd like, we can get your injured to the infirmary.
Yeah. Doctor, can you give them a rundown?
Yes, of course. I'm going to move into the courtyard a wee bit and exit the Pioneer armour.
Before the gurney gets carted away, I will go and move that box from the gurney. I'll carry it.
Okay. The soldier kind of raises his hand as you start moving around. I'm sorry, who's your commanding officer?
We fall under the direct authority of Director Wisdom.
I meant here, but that's fine. It's just Lieutenant Roberts will want to speak to someone.
Lionheart, you got this?
I can wait here. I'll wait for Lieutenant Roberts.
Yeah, okay. You two wait here. I'll get Harley to the ward.
Okay. The other soldier will escort Dr. Appleby, Snapshot, and Harley. You're keeping hold of the cool box, Christopher. The four of you are shown through by this other soldier into this compound. You see sandbags have been set up. There looks to be a portable generator that's been set up as well here. You see a motorbike leaning against a container as you move through the courtyard. There's another few like of these prefab units that have been erected. The soldier points immediately ahead of you as you step through this interior gate, and he says, "This is Lieutenant Roberts' office, just on the right. This is Dr. Charles's infirmary on the left here. He'll be able to see to your friend. Just follow me." He leads you up to this small building at the side. Snapshot and Pioneer, you are shown to the door by the soldier. He opens it. Inside, you see a very small infirmary. There is a man at a desk within. He is probably in his early 30s. Light brown hair. Looks like he's starting to go grey, perhaps a little bit prematurely. Relatively handsome, a little bit of stubble. He's wearing a lab coat over a suit. The infirmary is empty, although you can tell just glancing around what limited storage space is here that it's running a little low on supplies. He has a clipboard that he's kind of glancing through as he looks over and sees the two of you with the gurney coming in. He says, "My new patient, please bring her in." And he kind of steps back to allow you to come in with Harley. Place her on one of the beds.
Wheel her in and we'll lift her over, but I'd like to say to him, she's got multiple lacerations to her lower abdomen. We were able to stop the bleeding, but I haven't had an opportunity to check if there's been any internal damage.
Thank you. Are you a doctor yourself?
Not the same type of doctor as you, I'm afraid. Dr. Simon Appleby, xenobiologist.
Oh, pleasure. Daniel Charles, former surgeon. Took an easier life, but that is behind me now, he says, looking around the room.
Behind us all, Doctor.
It is. Are you wishing to stay whilst I see to the patient, or do you two of you wish to go and speak to the lieutenant?
We should probably head back and speak to the lieutenant, yes.
Oh, you're perfectly capable of dealing with this. Hope she's okay.
Before you go, I was given to understand you were bringing some other life form? Kind of looks quizzical.
We have it in a refrigeration unit, which my colleague has just now. Do you have any imaging devices, like CT or X-ray machine we might be able to use?
Nothing quite so large, I'm afraid. I have some smaller equipment that we could do some preliminary scans with. I believe I have an ultrasound machine here somewhere, but it would probably behoove us to focus on any gestures at Harley. Priority patient first.
Yes, of course. Thank you, sir. Dr. Appleby's got some thoughts going round in his head, but he's not forming them fully into words.
Yeah, Ame nods to Dr. Charles and says, he gets like that. Thanks for your time.
Of course. Soldier, can I have your assistance, please? You see the soldier rolls his eyes, steps inside and closes the door. Jump back to the front gate. Lionheart, Christopher, you're stood next to the now empty Pioneer armor and this one soldier who's just staring up at it. You see the soldier return with what you presume to be Lieutenant Roberts. She looks probably in her early 30s, blonde hair. Insignia would indicate that she is a lieutenant. She walks with purpose, steps forward towards the two of you. MI13, I'm to understand you are here to support us and we are here to assist you with some medical and scientific requirements.
That is correct, Lieutenant. I'll reach out my hand to shake it and introduce myself.
She steps forward, takes it. I'm Lieutenant Roberts. This is the Walworth compound. We're one of the sites maintaining the lockdown, although I will be honest with you, gentlemen, things are not going well. I am short on manpower, and the Badoon are pressing aggressively.
Understood. I'm Christopher Kingstown Baker, Media Relations for MI13. This is Lionheart. So I'll introduce my compatriots as we find them. We have some form of, I'll just kind of look to the duct-tape cooler, alien artifact.
We don't have a lot, but what we have is at your disposal. We have barracks. It's small, but not many of the beds are being used anymore. Handful of watchtowers. There is, of course, the infirmary. What is passing for our command centre here? I'm afraid I only have a dozen men under my command here and half a dozen more out on the street.
It's understandable. We've been in a similar position. It's been a few weeks.
See, she's like looking over the two of you. She's looking at Lionheart, who is now fully healed, courtesy of the healing factor. But he has this sort of broadsword over his back. As she looks at you, this sort of cardiganed, albeit bulletproof vested, skinny man, and she's holding up a cooler. There's this quizzical process kind of running through her head as to what has been brought to my doorstep. She says, if the two of you would like to follow me, I'll take you into the compound proper.
We done?
Dr. Appleby, a snapshot. You see as you two turn from here, Lieutenant Roberts walking up towards you with Mackenzie and Lionheart and the cooler in tow. I trust you were able to get everything to the doctor, okay?
Yes, he's with Harley just now. Thank you.
Good. We should retire to the command center. We can talk further in there. Can I have anything? Do you need food, drink?
I think I'm fine for now, but looking to Pioneer, do we need a longer-term solution to keep that thing cold?
Ideally, if there's any sort of refrigeration unit, that cooler is not designed for long-term storage, and I'm concerned that whatever's inside is going to wake up.
You see she blanches at that a little bit. I'm sorry, there's something in that cooler that's alive.
At the same time she does that, I'm kind of holding it at arm's reach now.
Yes, Mom, it's very much alive, and we need to know more about it. I spoke to Dr. Charles about maybe using some of his imaging devices that he has. He mentioned he might have an ultrasound, which would be quite useful, but I believe it might be activated by heat, as it seemed to react when I picked it up earlier on. I'm thinking we might need a more secure way of handling it that doesn't wake it up. Oh, also, is there some place that I can move the Pioneer armor to?
We have an armory.
Lieutenant, if this wasn't apparent, this is Dr. Appleby.
Oh, hello. Yes. Hi.
Hello. Yes, the building just to your left is our armory. It is restricted to base personnel, but I can arrange to have your armor taken there. I will, of course, give you access if you need it.
Thank you, Mom.
Of course.
Oh, do you have any computer facilities or have a signal that needs to be analysed?
Yes. Doctor, please. Doctor, if we could move inside. It is cold and we have better facilities. Barely, but still. She kind of strides past you, a little frustrated perhaps, and opens the door into the room that she described as the command center, just to the northwest of the base. You see a single soldier in here, sat at a desk. There's some computing equipment in here. There's a laptop on the table in the middle. It's not as advanced as you would perhaps like, Dr. Appleby, but there's some equipment here. You all huddle into the command center. It's pretty snug with the four of you, the lieutenant and the private that was already there. You do, however, see a small door to the side, which you suspect, given what the lieutenant's told you, leads to the armory. She says, please grab a seat if you can. She casts her eyes at the cooler that's sitting on the table next to Christopher. I have spoke briefly with Director Wisdom. I'm sure it's clear that we are not aware of MI13, and I'm sure that's how it's supposed to be. This is unorthodox, but I appreciate these are unorthodox times. You're four people that have turned up here with a heavily injured woman and some sort of life form in a cooler, so perhaps you can give me some information about what we're facing?
This is in addition to the Badoon threat, we believe.
I see. Are you able to give me any more information?
Just glance over at Snapshot before I do give any more information.
We weren't explicitly told that anything was off the table, so go ahead.
Okay. We encountered some kind of non-terrestrial organism at St. Thomas's Hospital. The creature presented as an 8-foot-long, armor-plated alien with razor-sharp claws and multiple mouths of almost metallic teeth and a long, prehensile tail.
Did you mention concentrated acid for blood? I think we should reinforce that.
You want to underline that, yeah?
I want that highlighted and underscored.
We observed an individual at the hospital whose chest had burst open from the inside. We think that was some kind of pupil stage for the creature. It then proceeded to eat his corpse as it grew in size. In any case, when we found Miss Davis, she had an egg of unknown origin which bore a somewhat resemblance to the creature. It's possible that there's some kind of pre-pupil stage. The creature goes through multiple life cycles. We've not really been able to put it all together yet, but that's what's inside the cooler. As soon as I picked it up, it started to open, but we were able to get it in the cooler before that happened. We need to know more about it, which is why we want to be able to look inside it without opening the egg, but we also would like to be able to take it out of the cooler without actually waking the egg up, activating its life cycle, and causing it to infect anyone.
Appeared to be more than a match for a group of 4 individuals with extraordinary circumstance.
Very bad for everyone if it did fully develop.
He nods. I see. I won't lie to you. I've heard whispers from overseas about creatures not dissimilar to what you've described, but a lot of them haven't really been confirmed beyond rumour, circumstance, and madness to some degree. Your best bet for what you're looking to do, Doctor, is probably the infirmary. Dr. Charles has some equipment in there, although we're a little sparser than we would like to admit.
So our orders were to bring this thing in alive, right? They definitely wanted a sample.
They weren't specifically to bring it in alive, they were to bring it here. Alive, it's implied that would probably be preferable, but I don't think wisdom would look for you to put yourselves in extreme danger to do so.
I'm just wondering, I mean, is it not safer just to terminate samples?
She looks over at Dr. Appleby.
If we don't learn more about it, we might not be able to combat it.
The door opens and you see 4 soldiers, Chuckle Brother carrying the Pioneer armor suit. Between the 4 of them, like a Monty Python sketch, they try and get it through the door to this command center with the 5 of you inside. You see Lieutenant Roberts just snap up. Just keep it outside for now. Yes, Lieutenant? And the door closes. You hear them go, you said to take it inside, as they kind of move over. Sorry, my men are stressed and exhausted. Speaking of which, you all look a little the worse for wear. Have you slept?
Not recently.
No, we have not.
There's a barracks across the courtyard. If you are looking to get a few hours shut-eye, please feel free to do so. I have a couple of men residing there and a handful of civilians we were ordered to collect a few hours ago, but there's room.
I think we should take it in shifts. I think I can keep going for another couple hours if you guys want to head in, get some shot first. Lieutenant, you'll have an extra pair of hands to assist with whatever you need.
Can always use an extra body on the watchtowers.
I'd like to stow the specimens secure before we...
You want to keep it refrigerated?
It'd be a good idea.
The best place for that would probably be the medical refrigerator in the infirmary. Alternatively, the most secure place is the armory. She kind of nods to the door behind her. If you prefer both, I could perhaps ask Dr. Charles if he'd be willing to move the medical fridge into the armory.
Seems like a reasonable compromise.
He's in surgery at the moment and I'm reluctant to disturb him. Are you happy for me to have the specimen placed in the armory for the time being and we can arrange it to be moved as soon as possible? One of you is welcome to stay and keep an eye on it if it would give you peace of mind.
I'd be willing to stay in here and just keep an eye on the door.
Okay.
You're more than welcome to. If those of you who want to get some shut-eye want to head over to the barracks, I will arrange for your armour to be brought in properly and we'll place the specimen into the armory. Lionheart Pioneer shown over across the courtyard to a small barracks. Inside you see a couple of soldiers in bunks fast asleep. You then, as you step in, you see a familiar figure sat in one of the beds, slightly tan skin, dark hair. You see Emily Taylor, the woman that you rescued from the Badoon. What is only a few hours earlier, although probably feels like a lifetime ago, sort of sits up, glances over, doesn't recognise Dr. Appleby because the last time she saw him he was in the Pioneer armour. But as Lionheart kind of steps in, you see she kind of narrows her eyes, points over. Do I know you?
Yeah, we encouraged you earlier on today.
You were... She pushed herself off the bed. You see she hits someone who's on the bunk underneath her. Theo, this is the guy.
I am often described as the guy. Yeah.
One of the guys. See a young black man sit up, pull the hood of his hoodie down. Emily, I was sleeping. No, but this is the guy, one of the guys who rescued me. I'm Emily. I don't know if I introduced myself earlier.
You did briefly, yeah.
This is my boyfriend, Theo. They brought us here when they extracted us. She completely blanks Dr. Appleby, like just walks past you as if you don't exist.
That's fine. Dr. Appleby's just going to get into one of the lower bunks and immediately start sleeping with his clothes on.
You got yourself to safety then?
Well, no, they came and picked us up in their truck. Pretty bumpy ride, to be honest. But they picked me up and then we grabbed Theo. We got back here about half an hour ago.
For us, then?
Yes, you just got here.
Mm-hmm.
This is, look, thank you again so much. You hear one of the soldiers, I'm trying to sleep. Sorry, thank you so much. I'm sorry, what was your name?
John.
John. Thank you, John. Are your friends here with you?
Yeah, this is one of them. He was one of the people that helped you. This is Dr. Appleby.
Oh, I didn't see him. Oh, he's asleep.
He's been through a lot. Yeah.
You should get some rest. I just wanted to say thank you again. Theo, come say thank you. Theo pulls himself out of the bed, steps up next to her, thank you, and then walks back to the bed. It's been a long night. He's frustrated. They took him away from his Xbox.
Nerd.
Snapshot, you post up in a watchtower to the southwest of the compound at the request of one of the soldiers. You're alone up here. You notice as you kind of glance around, a lot of the posts that you would expect to be manned in a compound like this are absent any soldiers, and you've only seen maybe 8 or 9 soldiers within the base, as the lieutenant indicated. Mackenzie, for you, it's quiet in here. The lieutenant is kind of flicking through papers. You see occasionally she slides over to the laptop, types a few things in on it and goes back. Doesn't really make conversation. Her mind is very focused and she just kind of leaves you sitting in one of the chairs near the armory. I would like Snapshot and Mackenzie to both give me resistance checks because you guys have been up and active for a long time and you're now in kind of quiet circumstances.
I eat this for breakfast. This is my bread and butter. I do not sleep. I am a spin doctor.
Yeah, because you just sort of stare wide-eyed off into the mid-distance.
I pull out my phone, and again, I am looking for any updates on the wider web. I've got terrible signal in here. I'm not pleased. I go to smoke a cigarette. I'm down to 12.
You go to smoke a cigarette. You glance over at her. She just shakes her.
I have to go outside? Really?
We have explosives here.
In another room? Oh, okay. I'll stand up and go stand outside in the cold.
Okay. Snapshot, your eyes are heavy. You're able to stay awake, but you do get that sensation where you occasionally feel dip and then you bring yourself back around.
Just feel head hit chest and shake myself up.
You're looking out and you've got a decent vantage from this makeshift watchtower. You can see over the compound, you can see out onto the streets of the Walworth area. You do occasionally catch a bit of movement, but you realise it's the soldiers patrolling the surrounding area. Mercifully, the gunfire that brought you here abated a long time ago, and you've not seen any signs of the Badoon pushing up any further at this point. Several hours pass.
I agreed with Lionheart that we'd switch.
I'm quite happy to tough it out.
Okay, so Snapshot, you head down, wake up Lionheart. Lionheart, are you heading out when Snapshot wakes you up?
Yep.
Are you taking her post?
Now we'll just swap identical shepherd.
Okay, you head up into the southwestern watchtower. Pioneer, you are left to sleep. Mackenzie, I will need another resilience check for you, please. It's slightly harder this time. You're looking for 13.
I use my karma to reroll one of the dice.
14. Okay, that is a pass.
Coffee sounds fantastic.
It's around about 8 o'clock in the morning. The base is getting a little livelier now. The sun is rising over the winter morning. Lionheart, you've got a good vantage of now the illuminated streets. Mackenzie, you see the door open, expecting Lieutenant Roberts to walk in, but you see Dr. Charles steps in instead. I'm sorry, I didn't catch her name.
Christopher Kingstown Baker. Dr. Charles?
Mr. Baker, I'm relieved to inform you that your friend is going to make a full recovery.
Pleased to hear it.
The surgery has been relatively successful. She is still recuperating, but she should be conscious within perhaps a day or so.
That's fantastic news. In the matter of the other item that we brought with us, have you heard that we're asking to have the fridge moved to the armory?
Yes, I have. One of the soldiers made me aware of it a brief while ago. I will need to empty it and find a new home for the supplies within it. Where is the sample at the moment?
It's currently in the back right-hand corner of the armory.
Very good. I'll get it moved. You look exhausted. Are you okay?
No, I'll be honest with you, I'm not okay, but I am present. Still alive.
If you need some rest, we have barracks.
I'll be okay. Thank you for your concern.
It is my job. Very good. I will have the fridge brought over short. And he steps back out.
I'll probably follow him just to stand by the door to this war room just to get some fresh air at that point, but After a few minutes, I'll head back in.
You see Lieutenant Roberts steps inside, hands you a cup of coffee.
Thank you.
Another few minutes pass, and the door opens again. A soldier steps in carrying a small but decent-sized medical refrigerator, flanked by Dr. Charles. This should suffice for what you need, says the doctor. Lieutenant, would you mind? He kind of gestures at the door. She steps over, swipes her card, door opens. Soldier carries the fridge in, puts it down on the floor next to the Pioneer suit. It should be big enough, I believe. It's a little larger than the cooler you brought in, so should suffice. Do you want me to put the sample in? Says the doctor.
Yeah, I'll walk over and be like, just in case, I'll pick it up.
Very good.
I make my way over and pick up the cooler. Hopefully, it's not got a big hole in the bottom of it.
It does not. No, it's still sealed with the tape.
Mission success plus respect.
Are you opening it up?
I will encourage the doctor to maybe take a step back while I do this.
He does not need much encouraging. He steps back immediately.
Not only will I say step back and close the door.
Do you think that's wise?
I think if there is something inside of that egg, whatever it is, and it gets out, we don't want it leaving this room.
He looks over at the lieutenant. Do you mind if I close the door? She kind of shakes her head. No, but do raise the alarm if anything goes sideways. He kind of nods.
I assure you, you'll hear me.
Lionheart, can I get a vigilance check from you, please?
You can indeed.
Target number is 13. You're a little more awake. You've maybe got a coffee next to you. You see a flash of something in the sky. You hear the rotary blades of a helicopter, and you see a shadow just in the distance. Looks like it's closing on the base.
I know Will's still awake, right? Or should be anyway.
Well, you know I carry my phone for sure, so...
I'll call him.
Okay.
Just as you go over the comms to me, I'll just very quickly tap my earbuds. Somewhat occupied at this moment in time. Lionheart?
Yeah, I just need to pass on a quick message. I think we've got a helicopter inbound from the base. I'm keeping an eye out from the watchtower, but if you can let the lieutenant or someone know, or at least...
I'm currently locked in the armory, Lionheart, transferring across the alien into the cooling storage.
Well, that's inconvenient. Fine, I'll do it myself. Oh, hang on. And I will get down the tower and make my way to the nearest soldier.
Okay. Do you do that thing where you slide down the banister to...
Yeah.
You start to race down. Mackenzie, you are, as he calms you, you've got the fridge open. You're just cutting open the cooler. You opening it?
I'm angling it as best as I can towards the cooler. So if anything is in there about to go, bah,
Okay.
It goes, blah, into the cooler.
Into the fridge, you mean?
Into the fridge, yeah.
Okay, go ahead and give me an agility check to try and maneuver the egg.
Sure.
Can you make it with trouble?
For you, absolutely. Yeah, I'll reroll my best dice. Thank the Lord.
So you go to make the move and you've just pushed it into the fridge where you feel cold steel on your cheek. It's the barrel of a rifle. You hear Dr. Charles behind you. Step aside, please. Don't say anything further.
I would like to relinquish control to Mackenzie.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be an initiative check.
Understandable.
Mackenzie, you get to go first. Dr. Charles is right behind you. He has got a rifle up against the side of your face.
Christopher seems to seep away as this billowing wig and red robes appear out of immaterium, spectrally floating as Mackenzie appears, falls back in on himself to rotate to be facing Dr. Charles. Looking at this gun, he eyes him up and down. Are you holding a weapon to a man of the Crown Court? And then he's going to try and do the disarm action.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a melee check with trouble. Okay. Mackenzie slaps the rifle. He's just about to pull the trigger as it scatters onto the floor of this room. Lionheart, you come down the stairs.
Like before, I'm only aware that the choppers potentially heading towards the base, so I'm just looking to find the nearest soldier. So I'm just moving. I don't think I'd be particularly running or anything, but maybe hot.
You go down the stairs, round the corner, double back, and you're coming out round to the front of the courtyard. You're not quite there yet.
Yep, that's fine.
Dr. Charles sees Mackenzie stood in front of him, sees the rifle scattered across the floor. His eyes are wide with horror. He says, I'm sorry, I don't have a choice. He steps forward and just kicks the fridge over. The egg tumbles out of it and he grabs the egg and steps towards the door. He says, open the door, Mackenzie.
Mackenzie is just going to shout at the door. Bear in mind, Mackenzie doesn't quite know what's happening here. Disregard that order. And then he's going to try and grapple him.
Okay, go ahead.
That will be -1, so that'll be 13 total.
13, okay. He is grappled, but he's going to use his reaction to try and break the grapple. 16.
Yes.
You grab him, and between the momentum of him surging forward and his sheer panic, he throws you off, sending you banging into the Pioneer armor. He says, "Lieutenant, there's some kind of monster in here."
He's not wrong.
Lionheart.
I guess I would continue walking.
So you walk past the nearest prefab building. You see a couple of soldiers stood in the courtyard.
I would engage the closest one and you there, soldier. Go there, Lieutenant, let her know that there is a chopper inbound from the base. Unknown whether it's hostile or friendly. Just get people on the left.
Yes, sir. I don't believe we have anything inbound, but I'll go and check with the lieutenant. He starts to walk off towards the command center.
Good. And then I'll start doubling back towards the water.
Meanwhile, within the command center, the door opens and you see Lieutenant Roberts on the other side of it. It's like, "Dr. Charles, what's happening?" It says, "This monstrosity tried to steal the egg." She looks past, sees Mackenzie with no context for what this demonic Hellfire judge is. And it's like, "What the fuck?" Snaps the pistol up and just like pops a few shots into you.
That's reasonable. I deserve that.
Yeah, no.
I have no response to this.
No.
Fantastic success. Does a 14 hit your agility defense?
12 is my agility defense, so yes, it does.
You take 14 points of damage
Yeah.
as she just fires into you. She's like, "Get behind me, Doctor!" Pushing him past her with the egg. At this point, with gunshots being fired, Lionheart, you hear them unequivocally. Snapshot and Pioneer, you can both give me vigilance target number 11 with an edge.
That succeeded.
Yeah. So you both wake up, just your instincts kick in as you hear gunshots across the base. You all hear now as well helicopter blades approach. You all hear now from the front of the base shouting and gunfire. Mackenzie. Now, just for context, by your own admission, you don't remember.
He has no clue what's going on. I'm aware on that. I'm aware. I'm not going to metagame it. Mackenzie looks absolutely disgusted that he's just been shot at. He's going to see the lieutenant, not know it's a lieutenant, just think that she's trying to assist this guy that's clearly stealing something. And just unleashing a burst of hellfire. How dare you?
The goal of this woman.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, go ahead and give me an attack roll. I'm going to give you a point of karma for role-playing it well.
Okay, I'll take that. Thank you. I'll make a roll.
He stole that for Chris for later and he feels weird using it.
I feel dirty. Okay, so that is a fantastic success against Lieutenant Roberts. Hellfire on a fantastic success, it's both health and focus damage.
That is correct.
So she takes 14 physical and 14 focus. She screams as she is engulfed in hellfire as you just reach out and blast her.
As she should be. She has been found guilty. I've moved myself adjacent to the door.
Okay. Pioneer.
I got woken up by a gunshot.
Several gunshots.
2 gunshots. I'm gonna roll off the bed, pull myself in my feet, and move up to the door and open it.
You can see as you get out into the courtyard, Lionheart is talking to some soldiers, probably now snapping to attention. You can hear gunfire coming from the south. You heard gunshots to the north, and as you look up over the fortifications to the west, you can see this black Chinook helicopter bearing down on the compound.
How long was I asleep for? I'm in my way into this room, and I think that's as far as I can go.
Lieutenant Robert is engulfed in hellfire. She's screaming in the doorway. She's got her pistol drawn and is shooting into the armory. You see Dr. Charles stumbling past her with the alien egg grasped, and you see the top opening up as he's holding it.
Dr. Charles, put that down! It's very dangerous!
Okay. Snapshot.
Snapshot's gonna get up clearly, move to the door. He's gonna look back at the civilian, see if Emily or Theo have roused from.
They're both awake. They're sitting up in the bed, wide-eyed.
She's gonna call upon that police training and tell them to stay here, stay put. I'm gonna watch the door. Nothing's gonna get past me.
Okay.
She's gonna pull the rifle and move up with this soldier and keep an eye out.
Yeah, you see a couple of the soldiers as you move out, and Pioneer would have seen this as well, are mobilizing. They've got their rifles, they're snapping around. They see the helicopter, they've heard the gunshots to the north and south. A couple of them are moving to the southern gate. Lionheart.
The gunfire's coming from back this way, yeah?
So there's gunfire coming from the command center. There's gunfire coming from the other side of the wall to the south, and the helicopter is coming from the west.
Okay, I will give a quick command to these soldiers, hopefully they're baby. I tell them to go find out what's happening at the other side of the compound that we'll handle here. And then, given that this is the most immediate threat, I'll make my way from the door. then I'll move in again. Oh, no.
So you run up behind Lieutenant Roberts. Just as you get up behind her, you see Dr. Charles come stumbling forward, throwing himself out of the armory, holding this egg at chest level. As it blossoms open, this horrific creature, small, pale, hand-like, with long jointed legs and this whip-like tail, leaps out, and it leaps at the doctor's face. I'm going to make a grab attempt here. It gets a 19. Dr. Charles falls back as this thing leaps out and just grabs his face, and this tail wraps around his neck as he collapses against the console behind him, dropping the egg that this creature just leapt out of. The egg rolls across the floor. Dr. Charles lands against the console behind him, and this monstrosity is wrapped around his face. Mackenzie, it is your turn.
So fortunately for Magistrate George Mackenzie's position, he hasn't seen that. He's just heard the kerfuffle.
No, he does not.
But he can still see this assailant that shot him is still stood in the doorway, so he will fortunately continue to attack.
Is this Hellfire? A blast of Hellfire?
This is Hellfire.
Okay.
This is Hellfire.
That's a 19 to hit her against her much lower defense. So this is just going to be health damage. You got a 6. So this is going to do 14 health damage. Again, she is engulfed in Hellfire. She screams as this engulfs her. She is barely conscious. Lionheart and Pioneer as well now, just seared with Hellfire from the armory.
Mackenzie's got to move up to the doorway of the armory at that point, and it's less like he was doing shouting guilty and making accusations at this point. It's just like a banshee scream down at her.
She is going to pop off a few shots at you. 14 on your agility defense.
That hits, yeah. Absolutely.
That's going to be 5 damage.
Yeah.
Just a grazing shot. At that point, out on the forecourt, you see this helicopter come flying over the top of the compound. It hovers over the command area, and you see cables that drop down off of the helicopter into the middle of the compound. At the top of the cables, you can see these 2 armed men. They're kind of helmeted. They've got ski helmets on, and they're carrying automatic weapons. You can see another figure as well behind them, but they appear to be in the shadows at the moment.
A lot going on right now. I'm going to move right up to where Dr. Charles is, and is it possible for me to actually grab Lieutenant Roberts by the arm and move her around behind me?
Yeah, I would say, go ahead and give me a melee check, but I would say I'll give you an edge on it, because she's not really antagonistic towards you.
Well, that's 18.
Okay, she is pulled behind you.
And I'd like to say, Your Honor, please stop. We're in the middle of a bit of a crisis right now. And I'll turn around to her and say, Eat Christopher Kingston Baker. This is a misunderstanding. I don't know what's happening here, but stop everything. We've got a problem. Gesturing towards Dr. Charles.
She's visibly dazed, very badly injured. As you say, she says, he attacked the doctor. She's trying to keep her cool despite the pain.
This has attacked the doctor.
Yes, I see that. Lionheart.
Yeah, following up on that, I'll step up and say, Judge, snap out of it, slap him across the face, and then I'm going to close the door on him. Right, that's sorted now. Now we can't see him.
You walk up, slap him, close the door. Are you doing anything else?
I'm going to have my sword ready next turn to try and surgically remove that creature from the doctor's face.
Okay.
You see how good he is with the sword, so can you say
Dr. Charles has fallen limp over the console. Snapshot.
Okay, I'm going to look up at the helicopter. She's going to unfling the rifle from her back, and she's going to try, if she can, to snapshot at the 2 men at the top of the ropes.
Absolutely can.
Getting a 17.
17 hits them both.
It's going to be 5 to both.
So these guys, just to give you a bit of above-table knowledge, and for the listeners' value, these are henchmen, so they are slightly more limited than you guys are. They both take a grazing shot. It is then the alien on Dr. Charles's face. You see the tail tighten around his neck, and he's convulsing. It is then the soldiers outside. You see Lieutenant Roberts steps up to the door, sees this helicopter with these figures. She says, "What the hell is going on here? Men, mobilize! We have incoming!" She takes an intake of breath. She's struggling to stay conscious. The soldier that was in the command center dashes out. You see him and the remaining soldier in the courtyard. The others are rushing to the south, where there is more gunfire coming from the entrance to the compound. But these two still remaining in the compound with you, Snapshot, take shots up at the helicopter and the men inside as well. They're going to join you in some fire. So they are going to do just some standard attacks. First one is 15 with 6, so that's actually going to do a nice chunk of damage to one of them. And the other one's going to do the same. He misses. So one of the soldiers does manage to offer some supporting fire to you, Snapshot, hitting one of the mercenaries. The others just kind of go wide, hitting the side of the helicopter to no serious effect. It is then Mackenzie's turn.
We've known each other as a group for a few weeks now. What is Lionheart's full actual name?
John. He's also Mackenzie.
John Mackenzie, that's the one. So what Mackenzie's going to do is going to spend first and foremost his action to become incorporeal.
Okay.
At which point he's going to come through the wall into the middle of the room by the door, basically appear next to Lionheart Lieutenant Roberts, and kind of bellowing towards Lionheart. John Mackenzie, I will bring this building down around you. As he looks at him and then looks at what the situation and can finally take in what's happening.
Okay. Are you doing anything else?
When I'm in the building, obviously the door's open now, isn't it? Can I see/hear that helicopter?
You can definitely hear it. It is right above the building. You can also see the zip lines coming down from it as well.
Yeah, I think he can figure something's going on now. Kind of go forward and maybe try and help the team.
You, Snapshot, see another figure step out behind the two mercs inside the helicopter. She is very clearly a feminine form. She's garbed similar to them, all in black, but hers is much more skin tight, with cut open for where her midriff is, because, you know, Marvel. She has jet black hair, and as she glances down at you, you see her eyes glow with pink energy as she slides down one of the zip lines and lands next to you. You see, as she lands, these chains drop out of her hands out of nowhere, but the chains are formed of similarly pink psionic energy and are bladed at the ends. And she says, in a very received pronunciation, that very clipped English, I afford you all one chance to surrender completely. Do you respond?
Yeah, but the chains and blades seem excessive. Why not just use a gun or a sword like everyone else? She's just reloads the rifle.
Okay. As she lands, the mercenaries follow suit, diving out, zipping down to the ground and landing amidst you and the soldiers. As they land out, the helicopter pulls around a little further to the east of the compound. The two mercenaries that land open up point blank with automatic fire at the two soldiers that have been supporting you, Snapshot. One of them just lands and he's fires wide, just peppers the side of the building, completely missing the soldier. Clearly his aim thrown off by his impact into the ground.
Oh no.
The other one, however, does not. He lands and just center masses the soldier, fills him with lead. You see the soldier just boromade back across the courtyard as he just takes a barrage of bullets and falls down dead. Pioneer.
Clarity, Colin. Lionheart looks like he's ready to start cutting the creature off of Doc's face.
Well, he's also looking very warily at the judge who just threatened to bring the building down upon him, because it's kind of hard to tell if a poltergeist is eased off or not.
I will say for clarity, after he said that, he heard the helicopter and you can kind of see him looking above him, listening.
You're a distracted madman at the moment. Right, sorry.
Okay, we need to get the thing off his face. Don't cut it. It's got acid for blood, remember? And I'm going to move up and I'm going to embark in the armor.
Okay, you step up to the armor, clamber inside. I would say that's going to be, your action is to get inside it alongside the movement.
Yes.
You could complete your movement though, so you could walk back out in the Pioneer suit as well.
I'll walk back out and go through the Vox this time. We need to get that off his face before whatever is going to happen happens.
Okay. Snapshot, you are out in this courtyard. There are two mercenaries to your left and ahead of you, one dead soldier to your right, one soldier barely holding his own against one of the mercenaries, and this black-clad woman wielding psionic whip chains.
She'll sling the rifle, draw pistol, so she's got rifle in one hand, pistol in the other, and she'll fire off a couple of shots with snapshooting. She's going to focus on the veteran mercenary to the immediate north, the one that just gunned down the other soldier, and this weirdo with the psionic chains.
Okay.
13.
Okay, so the 13 will hit the mercenary to the north, but you see as you raise the gun to the black-clad woman, she just steps to the side, and you are unable to land any hits on her.
Cool. So for him, he's taking 5.
5 damage to the mercenary, okay.
I'm gonna touch the earpiece and say, we got a super out here. Can you back up?
Okay. Lionheart.
Okay, as that shot's called for help, and I've been advised not to cut the alien off the top stage, and it gets me away from Mackenzie. It makes perfect sense to leave. Which one did you shoot, Ryan?
This guy to the immediate north is staggering from a gunshot wound.
I'll move over next to that mercenary that is injured and take a swing at him with my sword, and I will use special attack.
Okay.
It's fantastic, Jesus.
It's an 11 with a marble success on his melee.
That is a miss.
I'm gonna fire another gunshot into the ground near the veteran to draw his attention away from Lionheart.
Just keeping his attention on you with fire. Yep, okay. Yeah, so you're kind of...
So that gives me edge then?
I'll give you edge. Very nice. 16. Okay, that is definitely a hit. So with rain, that is going to be 40 points of damage to that guy. He's still up, but he is very badly injured and he is bleeding. You just...
These grunts have more health than I do.
They do. They have 60. You bring Rain up and you just slice through this mercenary. They don't have armor. And you see his torso is torn open by the claymore. He staggers back, bleeding, but still conscious. The woman has got the whips down at her side and she's looking at you, Snapshot, but then as Lionheart steps up and tears into the mercenary next to her with the sword, you see her head snaps round. She looks at the blade that you are carrying, Lionheart. She says, "Impressive sword. You are not worthy of it."
It just met me.
And she snaps the whips down, steps up to you, and they come in at you at a flurry. She is going to attempt to do a mental punch at you with her psionic whips. It's 17.
That's going to hit.
This is focus damage rather than physical damage.
Yep.
So you're going to take 15 focus damage.
Okay.
As she lashes in, you feel these things hit into you, but rather than searing your flesh, you feel they're searing into your soul. It is a pain unlike anything you have ever felt. It's almost like someone's searing your mind.
So rude.
It is Mackenzie to go.
So Mackenzie has heard all this going on outside. He's heard that helicopter above head start flying. He's going to use his move action and his normal action so he can move again. And he's going to fly up and hopefully appear in that helicopter.
Okay. You are able to fly up. There's just one guy in here, one pilot,
Yeah.
sat in the piloted seat. I'm going to say because you're phased, you've no physical presence, he won't immediately see you. You fly into the back section and you see this pilot.
I'd like to say not being corporeal.
Those of you out in the courtyard all hear more gunfire still coming from now the southeast of the compound. You can hear shouts of the soldiers that went that way at this point in time. Lieutenant Roberts and the remaining soldier run out into the courtyard to join you. They've got pistols and rifles drawn. The soldiers take shots at the mercenary on the far west of the courtyard that's been injured somewhat, but their shots go wide. Lieutenant Roberts does similar, shooting the same one with her pistol. She lands a shot home and does some serious damage, taking the guy in the shoulder, sends him staggering back a little bit. He's still going, but that definitely knocks a bit of the wind out of him. A soldier also comes out of the infirmary, drawn by the fire, and he is going to open fire on the mercenary that's bleeding next to Lionheart with his pistol. 14, which will hit, and does 9 points of damage, putting that mercenary onto 1 health. So he will die from the bleeding on his turn. It is then the mercenary's turns. The mercenary to the far west that was just shot by Lieutenant Roberts and the soldier is going to return fire at the soldier, missing him with his fire. The mercenary engaged with you, Lionheart, barely standing, but he seems spurred on by the black-clad woman behind him. He brings the butt of his rifle up to slam it into you. So he's going to make a melee attack against you. He gets an 11.
Aha! Finally missed me. I am going to use the boss because I've been missed by a melee attack.
As this guy misses you, you feel the sword pull, seeing the opening. The sword almost guides you back towards this guy. Colin, I'm going to give you an edge on that attack as well that you can take because this guy's badly injured and bleeding. And also it's the first time that this sword's power has been revealed. You feel the blade pull back and run through this mercenary as he tries to get you with the butt of his gun, and you feel the magical energy of this sword has been awakened in this moment. Pioneer!
I'm still in the command center.
You are. Dr. Charles is on this console. You see this thing wrapped around his face. He's stopped convulsing now.
Probably fine.
I feel like I've got to make an attempt to try and get it off of him.
Okay.
Despite the fact that I, Kenny, know this is not going to work. The way that Dr. Appleby would approach this would probably put one hand on the base of the creature and then try and unwrap the tail around his neck.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a melee check.
Ultimate fantastic success.
Holy shit.
Okay. That, under any other circumstance, you absolutely could not do this. It would kill the afflicted. But just by sheer luck and expertise, you are able to grab this thing in just the right way that you're able to pull the tail around, and even as it starts to tighten, you move with quick enough precision that you pull the tail loose. As the claws start to dig into the skull, you pull the claws back. There is damage to Dr. Charles, but it's, in the grand scheme of things, cosmetic. But as you pull the thing off his face, you see something come out of his mouth. There's some kind of proboscis or something in his mouth and throat that you pull out, and as you pull this creature loose, it goes limp in your arm.
Okay, first problem. Second problem. I start walking towards the door.
Okay. Dr. Charles is still lying limp on the counter. He is unconscious as you move out of the room. That was hell of an ultimate fantastic. Well done.
Good time for it.
You walk outside into this scene of continued chaos as there's gunfire everywhere. There are enemy bodies on the floor, enemies still fighting, and this woman with strange psionic energy and whips. And on that note, it is Snapshot to go.
Okay, Snapshot is going to level the pistol against this woman with the psychic whips and give her a double tap.
Okay.
7.
7 is a miss. Lionheart,
I will move up on the Black Queen.
you don't know that's her name?
I can tell for a vibe.
You've got Black Queen energy.
And I will swing her with a vicious attack.
You come in swinging with Rain. The swing falls shy. She kind of just steps back. This woman is very clearly a deaf combatant. It is then her to go. Her attention snaps back to you, Lionheart. She brings these psionic whips round again and swings out with another mental punch. That is going to be an 18 on your melee defense.
Yeah.
So yeah, as the whips tear into you, that is another 15 focus damage.
Okay, I'm on 0 focus.
Okay, so you're still conscious, but you are essentially demoralized, so you now have trouble. Unless you have the determination trait,
No.
you have trouble on all actions. These psionic attacks have bore down on you. You're losing focus, you're struggling to stay conscious. She is grinding you down with the psionic energies. Mackenzie to go.
I'm still incorporeal. I would like to move over to where the pilot's seat is. As I become recorporeal, essentially appear sitting with my arm around his shoulder in his lap. Good morning, sunshine.
Okay, to what end? You trying to scare him?
Scare him / make him, struggle to control the helicopter.
So that is a 15. That is definitely a success. As you do this, you see his eyes go wide. He screams in terror as you do that. He lets go of the controls for a moment and then inherently grabs hold of them, but this guy is absolutely terrified. What do you want to get from this? Are you trying to get him to fly away? Are you trying to get him to land?
I'm trying to get this helicopter to fly away out of the zone, because I can always fly back.
Okay, he will pull up instinctively as you appear. It is then the remaining mercenaries to go. You see the soldiers to the southeast that are at the second entrance into the compound. One of them is gunned down by another hail of bullets. You see another one of the soldiers just filled with automatic gunfire, slams up against the control center and goes limp. Pioneer.
Pioneer sees that happen to the soldier, reaches out his hand to, like he wants to try and stop it, and the flamethrower pops right out and starts shooting a gout of flame at the veteran mercenary.
Oh no. Okay.
12 damage.
12 damage. Woofed. Okay, he is engulfed in the flames.
He's on fire.
As they subside, he is still standing, but he is, to quote Austin Powers, very badly burned.
I'll move right up to him.
Okay, you advance on him.
I don't know what you're doing, but stop everything. This is all bad.
Snapshot.
Really tempted to just snapshot again and try and hit both the mercenary and this assailant, but instead I'm gonna go with my gut and try another double tap into this woman who's...
Okay. Yeah, you can see Lionheart is like mentally struggling. Was this a double tap, yeah?
This is a double tap, yeah.
Nice. 18 will hit her. She seems surprised as you land the shot home.
So it's gonna be an 11.
Okay, the bullet grazes her side. Again, her eyes widen, and her attention that has been fixed on Lionheart now snaps to you. She grits her teeth.
That's me.
Then it is Lionheart to go.
Ignoring me. Probably why. Here we go.
So you have trouble on any act.
Gotcha. You roll with a 6, yeah. Into a 5.
I'm going to help teammate by keeping her focus on me. See what I mean? Guns are much more efficient. Just not talking her and allowing Lionheart a chance to reroll.
Okay, yep, so you can reroll one of those in your melee.
Oh,
Good choice.
beautiful.
It's a miss.
Oh, damn.
Unfortunately, even with the assist, you are not able to land the hits on her. She kind of just manages to duck back and avoid it. What I will say though, since you got a fantastic miss, is you can ignore the troubles next turn. You're emboldened by that attack. So next turn, Colin, you do not have trouble on your attack.
Right.
This woman turns her attention to you, Snapshot. She says, you have the gall to shoot the Black Queen.
I don't see a crown.
And as she says that, she snaps down these psionic whips and just lashes out at you with both of them. It's going to be a melee attack.
Yep.
20.
Okay, even with my evasion, that definitely hits me.
That's going to be 24 focus damage. As she hits you, you feel this psionic blade through your mind. What is Snapshot's core memory? Thing she holds to the most?
I think the moment when she learns that her family was attacked during the Skrull attack and her father didn't make it out, after all these accolades of her being hailed by the police and then having to go home to that.
Okay, so you are taken to that moment in your mind. You are stood at home and that news is delivered to you. And in that moment, you crumple. Your father hasn't made it home. And as you are crumpled on the floor in that memory, you see the Black Queen stood over you. And she says, here, you live here now. And as we come out of that, Snapshot is just crumpled to the floor, eyes rolled back, head hung back. You are permanently stunned, can't take any actions, and can only speak short, simple sentences. She has broken your mind. Mackenzie.
What did the helicopter pilot do when it was his turn?
Oh, he has flown away.
So I'm hovering in the air and I can see Snapshot glazed over, just in the middle of the sky looking down at this Black Queen, clearly taking our team for a ride. Let's get her attention. Oi!
Okay, so you float down to the ground level and yell out to her.
Yeah.
See, she snaps around, sees you, kind of looks quizzically.
Who might you be?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
I'm asking the questions here.
It is the remaining mercenary to go whilst you have that exchange. Pioneer, this guy's clothes are still singed from where you've hit him with the flamethrower. He staggers back, pops a shot at you with the automatic rifle just to try and potentially bring you down. As he does so, shots just go wide. The few that hit just bounce off the Pioneer armor, unaffected. He continues to burn. Ah! Pioneer.
Seen Snapshot drop. I'm gonna move over to this crazy lady in the skin-tight catsuit.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't even had breakfast yet, and try and punch her.
Okay, go ahead and give me a melee attack. 17 is a hit. Oh dear.
He just brings his fist down upside her face for 14 damage.
Okay, you slam your fist and kind of catching her on the cheekbone. You see it splits open her cheek, a bit of blood pours down. She takes her hand up and just licks the blood off the back of her hand. Impressive. Lionheart.
Yeah, I'll go for an ambitious round like David.
Remember, you don't have trouble on this one because of your fantastic failure.
I did that. So, 18.
18.
Nice.
That is a hit. Doing 21 damage. You bring Rain down and you see that opening where she's been clocked by Pioneer and her attention's drawn to him. She wipes the blood off and then you slice forward, cutting across her midriff with the sword, drawing blood there. She is paying attention now. The cockiness has kind of dropped out a little bit. She drops back into a bit more of a defensive stance, not mechanically. and seems to be keyed into the two of you. She glances over at you, Lionheart, says, wait your turn. And then she's going to bring the blades round on you, Pioneer. Comes in on you with a mental punch. 17.
Yes.
That's going to be 24 focus damage.
Oof.
As similar to the other two, these find purchase in your mind, and you feel like your entire consciousness is being seared. Kenzie.
Mackenzie is going to use his move action to walk forward slowly across his turn as he's looking at her, and she's got her attention diverted between the three of us. Mechanically, I'd like to do an intimidation check because I have the monster trait, which means I get an edge when I try to intimidate someone. And the way he goes about doing that is as he stalks forward, he's just going to shout over her shoulder, "Tell me, do you fear death?"
Hey, Davy Jones. Go ahead and give me an ego attack against her ego defense. As you shout that, she seems unfazed, does not pay you any mind. It is the remaining veteran mercenary. He is going to stop, drop, and roll. You hear more gunfire from the entrance. Another soldier near the entrance drops under a hail of gunfire. You see the soldier closest to the entrance next to you, Mackenzie, runs over, starts opening fire. Lieutenant Roberts moves point blank over the mercenary who's fallen to the floor and just... She somehow misses him as she moves over. He's just rolling on the floor. But she and just by chance, every shot she takes seems to be on the other side of him. Pioneer.
Great work all day today, Lieutenant Roberts. Okay.
The woman got hellfired twice before she knew what was going on.
I mean, yeah, give her some slack.
I'm going to try and clobber the Black Queen.
Okay.
He almost staggers back, holding his head slightly, which again is holding the outside of the robot. Suit's head aches a little bit, and then brings his arm, trying to smack her with the back of it.
Okay.
That's fantastic success for 90 hit.
That
Holy.
is a fantastic success. That's going to hit her.
So that's 28 damage, and I'm also going to knock her back because I am mighty.
Yep. Okay, so you send her flying back.
Hits her so hard, she goes flying back through the air, crashes into this big metal container.
Yeah, she definitely feels that. She goes hurtling back, slams into that container. You see her again, the bluster is starting to fall out a little bit. She pulls herself up, badly injured from that punch from the power of the Pioneer armor. Lionheart, you are demoralized again.
Yep, Lionheart rushes her, leaps through the air, and tries to bring the blade down on a cut light.
As he comes rushing in, the Pioneer shoots a gout of flame towards her, distracting her for a moment.
Does a miss, I believe.
Okay, it is a miss with 13, unfortunately. As you run in and engage her, she pulls herself back to her feet, snaps one of the whips down as she's going to lash out at you with a mental punch. Lionheart, 22.
Yeah.
She hits you for 21 focus.
Okay.
You are not quite shattered, but you're on minus 21. You are very close to being mentally broken. Mackenzie.
Mackenzie's going to look towards her. Have it your way. And he's going to Hellfire Blast her.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to spend my edge that he gave me earlier.
Mm-hmm. You're quite a karma.
My point of karma, sorry, yep, to re-roll one of those dice. So I'm going to re-roll 3.
Okay, I can get you 13 high enough. 15 is just shy, unfortunately.
Alright, give it a good go.
I will help you. I will bait at her with my sword, try to provide a distraction.
Okay, so I'll give you another edge. You can try and re-roll another one of those.
Yeah, I'll re-roll the marble dice I might as well, yeah, because it's the same number. So
Go for it. That's into a fantastic success. So that will do 14 focus and 14 physical to her with your Hellfire.
yeah,
Very nice.
got her attention.
You definitely did. The focus, though, does nothing to her, but she does take the health. But she seems pretty much impervious to your focus damage.
Very interesting.
She essentially has sturdy, but for focus. She has sturdy 4 for focus. Then it is the remaining veteran mercenary who is on the floor. He pulls himself to his feet, snaps his pistol up. He's going to pop a shot at Lieutenant Roberts. Hits her for 13 damage. You see her just takes a shot into the chest and collapses to the ground, bleeding on the floor. She's not dead, but she's in a very bad way. Pioneer.
Pioneer goes rushing over towards this veteran mercenary, and he's just going to run right over him.
Okay.
I'm clobbering.
Clobbering, okay. He is clobbered.
13 hit him.
13 is enough, and 10 damage puts him down. Yeah, you run over, seeing him take that shot, just both bring a metallic fist down on the side of his head. He crumples to the ground, no longer a threat.
Call down at Lieutenant Roberts. Keep pressure on it. Keep pressure on it.
It's like, oh, hellfire. Lionheart. If only I hadn't taken so much hellfire damage.
So Lionheart is in last chance saloon, so it's pretty much an all or nothing desperate hero baby swing at her.
Okay.
An 18, but I do need to reroll with 3. The Marvel.
Get it into another Marvel. It could happen.
I'm not with the Marvel tonight. Oh well, there you go.
There you go. Rerolled into a Marvel. You said otherwise. That 42 damage is going to incapacitate her. How does this go down like that?
There's a flash of him just literally trying to rip her head off, but he doesn't. He pulls the blade at the last minute and crashes on the side of the skull.
Okay, and with that, we will drop out of initiative. So, to set the scene, the veteran mercenaries and most of the soldiers lie either dead or bleeding across this compound. Lieutenant Roberts is on the floor, also bleeding, possibly dead, you don't know. The civilians are safe. The Black Queen is bested and unconscious at the moment, although she is bleeding as well. Snapshot is crumpled, her mind shattered completely. And Dr. Charles has had whatever this alien thing was wrapped around his face. Who knows what fate that has left in store for him. Harley Davis staggers out of the infirmary, puts a hand on the wall, clutching her stomach, looks out at you all. The fuck is happening? And that is where we will leave this episode.